Hello and welcome to Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich. Today our guest is Fr Victor Farrugia, who came on this show many years ago, and so he's coming back on again, so it's wonderful to have him back. And he's a Catholic priest who's retired now in Victoria. Welcome back to the program after all these years.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Father, and we're going to be talking about Mary's messages from Medjugorje and basing them basically on heaven, heaven on earth, and heaven in heaven. On earth as it is in heaven is kind of the feel of the show. So Our Lady said on July the 2nd to everyone on earth, 2010, "Dear children, my motherly call, which I direct to you today, is a call of truth and life. My Son, who is life, loves you and knows you in truth. To come to know and to love yourself, you must come to know my Son. To come to know and to love others, you must see my Son in them. Therefore, my children, pray, 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 that you may comprehend and surrender with a spirit that is free. Be completely transformed, and in this way you may have the kingdom of heaven in your heart on earth." Thank you. So I'll read it sentence by sentence and we'll just get your thoughts on it. It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's very nice.
So lovely. So I like to focus on heaven on earth as well. Like we don't have to just keep thinking we have to die to have heaven. We should be creating it here.
Get a taste of it here.
Exactly. And so Our Lady said, "Dear children, my motherly call, which I direct to you today, is a call of truth and life." What would you like to say about that?
Oh, twins, the twins. Truth and life go hand in hand. They both generate growth, freedom, generate all that life could offer. Yeah. So, they're two tremendous elements, really, that can promote all that we could define as being humanity, you see.
And I think with truth, life flows.
Yes, absolutely.
If people speak the truth and are true to what people say as well, then things flow much easier. We can make sense of things if we speak the truth.
Well, the Lord at one stage said the truth will set you free.
Exactly.
Now that's a very interesting sentence, of course, because how come the truth sets me free? I thought I was free, you see. But I've often seen that as truth setting you free to become who you're meant to be. You see. So the statement.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Well,
because we all want the truth. Everybody wants the truth.
Why?
On this earth.
Because the truth is aligned with the essence of who we are, and the essence of who we are is love.
Yeah.
You see. So truth will set us free. Why? Because we're so locked away from love sometimes. We're imprisoned in our own past, and so we just need sometimes to really be reminded that the Lord came here to set us free. Yeah. We say he descended into hell. Yeah. Oh, why did you do that? Well, I'm a bit of a mad acronym man, so I often think of the word hell as meaning here ended love and life.
Yeah, that's so true.
There's a place in all of us, where we are we feel cut off from that which is life-giving. Sometimes our fault, sometimes, a lot of times, the fault of others, one or both parents, sometimes. And it's not accusing mum or dad or anything, but sometimes just a little bit, can already set us on the path of becoming cut off from love and life. Yeah. Which is what hell is. Yeah.
And what was the other side? And you said something beautiful. And then when you let Jesus come into your heart, it becomes...
See, all of a sudden, like a doctor, you're sick, and the first person you call is the doctor, you see. because he's got an understanding of what sickness is, because he knows what a healthy body should be. And if the Lord was there when we were created, he knows us from the inside out. And so it's like discovering a plan of a house, the treasure that was discovered, remember, and who we really are. The Lord used that one time. He said, it's like somebody finding a treasure in a field. And often I used to think, well, how come he just didn't take the treasure on the way, you see? No, he sold everything he had in order to buy the field and embrace the treasure. And sometimes it takes a lot to find the treasure. What is the treasure? And in finding it now, you compare it to whatever you've got, and you can freely give all that away in order to gain the treasure.
Yeah, beautiful. And there was another acronym you said when you accept Jesus, like if hell is, what was hell again?
Hell, here ended love and life.
And then when Jesus comes in, when you accept Jesus into your life?
It becomes here ended lost love.
Beautiful. I love that. Here ended lost love. And we'll keep going. The next sentence is, my Son who is life loves you and knows you in truth. To come to know and to love yourself, you must come to know my Son.
Perfect. You see, because the Lord was there at our very creation. And like an artist never repeats the same picture. And God keeps creating new pictures, new people who are designed and who are open to communicating love. Human beings, take love out of the picture, what have you got?
Exactly. Nothing. It's just emptiness, isn't it?
It is.
Suffering.
It is, yeah. And you see these sometimes, now we're seeing a lot of these old film stars that back 50, 30, 20, 30 years ago were up there. We always thought, oh, these film stars are up there, like Gisele. And you see how some of them end up dying alone and sometimes in a very...
We have to go to a break now.
All right, good.
You're watching Spirit of Life. Stay with us. We'll be back with more very shortly. Hello and welcome back to Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich. If you've just joined us, we're here with Fr Victor Farrugia, a Catholic priest in Victoria who's retired now, but he's been here for many years. Welcome back to the program, Father.
Thank you.
And we were just discussing Mary's message from July the 2nd, 2010, and I'll just continue with it. So we'll just recap with what we did before the break. It was, Our Lady said, to come to know and to love yourself, you must come to know my Son. To come to know and to love others, you must see my Son in them. So it's interesting, to come to know and to love yourself, you must come to know Jesus. So you can't love yourself unless you know Jesus, is kind of what she's saying there, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's an interesting two sentences there, because sometimes people think, oh, I can see Jesus in you. And they say, what do you mean by that? You see? And sometimes the truth is that the more we put ourselves in the light, the more who we really are comes to the surface. So it's not like seeing an image of Jesus and I impose that on you, but seeing the real you is because some or other what God has created is coming alive in you. You see? And I love acronyms. The ground of definition, the G-O-D.
Ground of definition.
God for me is the one who has defined us, who we are. And so Jesus was to restore the world. He came and he had to do something about this time when at some stage of our lives we were crucified we were nailed down. And what does that mean, really? When you look at the cross, you see the arms are nailed down. And when you take the arms, you go to, they meet at the heart, don't they?
Yes.
So the arms really are saying the ability to love, to hold, you see, close to my, to express love. So that's one part of who we are. Then the feet are nailed down, and they meet in the central part, from which you can, a male or female, produce another human being, representing the creativity. So love gives us the ability to create.
Yeah.
In the case of husband and wife, create a child, a physical child. In the case of somebody like myself or many others who are not married, we find a way of giving expression to that love, which on the cross is nailed down and bleeding, you see. So the Lord really descends. I laugh at Mass sometimes when people say, He died and He descended into hell. You know, it used to be into death, but now He descended into hell, you see, into this deepest, darkest place where here ended love and life. And that could happen to somebody 2 seconds after they were conceived.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
And it's not a question of blaming who brought that darkness in. It's just entering the world. It's you see? But that's why the Lord said, let me enter in that place with you. He descended in the hell. And we say,
that was so He knew the darkness. Is that why?
Well, he knew the darkness from the inside out.
Yeah.
Like a doctor, He descends to where your disease is. You go to a doctor so he could discover what's causing this, you see. And the doctor of the heart and of life is God Himself, who is love. You could take love out of our formula, what do you get? As a human being without love, we become a machine, we become a tyrant, we become
a robot,
a murderer or a robot, basically, you see. So there's a lot in those two lines. You know, if you want to know yourself, get to know Christ, because if you get to know Christ, then He will be a mirror to you of why you and I were created specifically. Like an artist knows when he creates a painting to generate something through that painting.
It's so beautiful to meditate on that and to really delve into that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I think we all need to do that now. I think we're at a stage in this world, this earth, that we need to actually start delving into ourselves and asking, you know, Jesus and loving Jesus.
Yeah.
What is it? You must come to know my Son, getting to know Jesus to know who we are.
Because the moment we get to know Jesus, we are in touch with the one who was part of creating us. So it's a bit like a painting, getting to know the painter. You see, and what was in this painter's mind and art that created this picture? And sometimes that's where we capture who we're meant to be. I remember St. Francis at one stage had to hand over his clothes to his father. He said, thank you for giving me life. From this point onwards, now I have to walk my journey.
Wow. Yeah.
And he became the unique person and special person that he was, you see.
Beautiful. And then the next part is, to come to know and to love others, you must see my Son in them. So you can't really love others properly unless you see Jesus in them.
And that line can be easily mishandled. Why? Because if I go to somebody and say, I can see Jesus in you, you see, and then you say, well, what about me? You're seeing Jesus, it's lovely, but I mean, what about me, you see?
Yeah.
But to see Jesus in him, to me, really saying that you see something that is beyond humanity itself.
The unique creation of love.
The unique creation of what God invested in you when He created you.
Yeah.
You see, much more than what mom and dad invested. I mean, you know, some parents just happen to have, we're pregnant, you know, it's an accident kind of, or whatever, you see. But what God sees in us is His work of art.
Yeah.
And Jesus comes to clean out our eyes, to reawaken our heart, and to clarify what the truth, and let the truth set me free. This is why Christ came.
Beautiful. All right, well, we have to go to a break now, Father.
Fine.
Hope you're enjoying the program. We're going to go to a break now. We'll be back very shortly. Hello and welcome back to Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich. If you've just joined us, we're here with Fr Victor Farrugia, and we're talking about Mary, Queen of Peace's message from July the 2nd, 2010. Welcome back to the program, Father.
Thank you.
And I'll read the next part of the sentence. Our Lady's message. Our Lady said, "Therefore, my children, pray, that you may comprehend and surrender with a spirit that is free." Just stop with that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
One sentence filled up with so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surrender with a spirit that is free.
Interesting. She starts with pray. You know, and a lot of people
100%.
sometimes think that prayer is, I'll say another 10 rosaries or something like that. You say that I'm going to get, and I always tell the story about when I was young, you know, and I got to know about the 9 Fridays, you see. And I did the 9 Fridays, and you go to heaven, guaranteed, you see. And I was very young, so I ran home to my grandma and I said, Grandma, I've just finished the 9 Fridays. Oh, she said, that's good.
For the people that don't know, what's 9 Fridays?
Oh, these were things.
The rosary every...
Yeah, if you did the rosary, if you did a certain prayer and all that, then you 9 consecutive, you've got the certificate.
Guaranteed to get to heaven if you do it.
Anyway, so I said,
9 Fridays in a row.
She said, tell me, what did you do? So then I told her what I did at Hail Mary, and then she said, you left the Hail Holy Queen. I said, what? She said, you didn't say the Hail Holy Queen? No? Oh, she said, that's part of it. And I went, oh, shucks, you know, I missed out on the trip to heaven, you know. And I remember I took up some other form of prayer after that, because prayer became almost like too mechanical anyway.
Yeah.
And it's interesting what she says, you know, pray. Okay. And what does it mean? Could I say to a couple when they get married, love, you say? Because prayer really is dialogue of the heart.
Yes.
And some people think, if I do another 10 rosaries, well, it's not the saying of the rosary, but it gives me the opportunity to enter into the presence of someone. And sometimes you can stop, and when you sense that presence, you don't have to talk anymore. It's a bit like you meet somebody who you're very drawn to, attracted to, whatever, and you start talking at the start or everything, but then there comes a moment when the two look at each other and just enjoy it. They become present by just the love, looking at each other. It's a bit like you don't have to talk to look at and be touched by a beautiful sunset. You just have to be immersed in that.
That's it, yeah.
And sometimes the words you speak are just a preamble, a beginning, entering into the presence, you see. And we say at the church is the real presence. Oh, it's a real presence. Yeah, he consecrates in the real presence, you see. Oh, it's really present. Yes. And I remember saying to somebody, I said, tell me, why did you insist on receiving on the tongue, for example, you know, communion? I said, to me, it's still communion, you know. He said, Father, I said, you know, he said, my hands are not consecrated. And I said, tell me, I said, is your tongue consecrated? Or is your stomach consecrated? Now, obviously, you know, I was trying to make a point, really, that you're getting lost in the detail, and you're missing on what happens when that beautiful meal, Jesus in the Last Supper, went to AI, so to speak, to find a symbol that would be alive, and he came up with it. He said, yes, he went to the first meal. And everybody says, what was your first meal? They say, oh, the milk. I said, no. Your first meal, my first meal was the body and blood of my mother. That was not our first meal.
In the womb.
And Jesus in that moment took over being the one who generates life in us.
Wow, so amazing to look at it like that. So beautiful.
Well, because you see, that's why we genuflect. But when we genuflect, we're like little children. It should take us to that first meal, you see. We cut at the knees and we genuflect.
Wow.
Not because we're in front of a king who like a king and queen, a royalty. No, because we are in front of the king who gave his life like our mother gives her life, whether she knows or not, whether she wants that child or not, but she's giving of her body and blood, you see. Her body protects us and her blood gives us oxygen, you see, and nutrition, you see. And when we are born, what happens? We have to open up our own mouth and feed ourselves, you see. The separation happens because now we generate life within us. Continue it, you see. So it's a beautiful, communion is such communis, one with. You see.
I remember someone was saying once that like when a baby's in the womb, they're thinking this is it. Like they're growing and then they think this is all there is. And then all of a sudden they come out and they think, oh wow, this is the whole world out there. And then they was likening it to us with heaven. Like we're like, oh wow, there's a whole world out here.
Correct.
And then we don't know what's next.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
And we're sort of like in the womb in a way, like this earth is like our womb that we're all in.
And that's why if you look at that verse again, that's why she says, pray, pray, pray.
That you may comprehend and surrender with a spirit that is free.
See, surrender, from the French surrender, put yourself under. To render oneself sur, under. What? Under his embrace, you see.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
That's what surrendering is all about, you see.
Put yourself under his embrace.
I go up to somebody, I love you. And eventually say, oh yes, all right, okay, I love you too, you see. And those words to the Lord are just, you see, that's all he longs for. When the rich young man said, what can I do to have eternal life? Okay, you love all this stuff. You say, are you prepared to give it away? And he says, no, not yet. So,
we've come to the end of the program. Would you come back again and we'll do another program?
Most certainly, if you want me to, yeah.
Would love that. Thank you, Father, very much.
Thank you.
You've been watching Spirit of Life. I hope you enjoyed the program and may you always feel God's presence within you, filled with love, peace and joy. And remember to keep up praying from the heart. Bye for now.